Talk show. Come on to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. Your praises to Jehovah, from whom all blessing and knowledge will flow. Blessing and knowledge will flow. The Village Talk Show, dedicating to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life, helping each one of us in realizing our dream at any age, any point, starting from today, day. Success. Come on to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. Come on to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. Success is not spoken, it is done. Success is done. Come on now. The Village Talk Show. Talk Show. The Village Talk Show. All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
Andre, you look good in here. Yeah, we hear you.
What's good? Good evening, villagers. How we doing? What's up, John?
What's up, Andre?
Be like Roderick. Dr. Sampson. How we doing?
Bless up to all the villagers who are in tune tonight, listening to the new host of the Village Talk Show, Andre.
All right, let me drop.
Big up.
Matter of fact, let me change this name thing on here real quick. Watch this now. Hold on there. Let me see. Hold on. All right, here we go. Watch this now. Here's what I'm put. Doctor. Watch it.
Wonderful day today. A wonderful, nice sunny day. We're getting closer and closer to the summer, so thank God for that. And it's not raining this week, so I am grateful about that. We had one.
I am grateful.
So wait. So I have to say this because I don't think it's been said in a minute. So this is the village, right? Dedicated to empowering the community to live a safe, healthy, and financially capable life, helping each one of us to realize our dreams at any age, any point, starting from today. Success isn't done, isn't just spoken, it is done. So what you doing to make sure you're successful? Let's get it. All right, continue.
Where's our fearless leader?
Man, that's like.
He's down at the border. Waiting for Title 42 so he can help out all the migrants come across.
Right. Man, that thing is
down by the border.
What are your thoughts on that?
You know what? We're not planned correctly. I see we're overrun with a lot of the migrants here in New York City and a lot of these sanctuary cities. It's like the shelters, everybody, you need to have your fair share. But at the same time, the federal government needs to step up and really support us because it's the lack of leadership, honestly, for the Democrats and the Republicans, Congress, their lack of leadership to pass immigration laws that can protect individuals. So it's that lack of leadership. Everybody's, the president, but no, it started way before the president. Nobody really wanted to deal with that issue. And, the president has to deal with it. But at the same time, the federal government needs to provide resources to those cities who are taking this on. And I understand those counties in Texas who are overrun with migrants. 10,000 people coming. I mean, it's an influx of people in your city. It's like the infrastructure. Infrastructure is not ready for that. We need help. We need assistance. But most of all, we need to reach over to those countries in which they're coming from, and we need to begin nation building. We have to be involved in order to stem the tide in those countries to prevent the migration of those individuals from that country to the United States. We have to do it, something that we can't avoid no more. What are your thoughts, Dr. Bryant?
Greetings, Simone. Greetings, and thank you for joining us, listeners. I think when you just mentioned we have to nation build, we're coming from a point we could not understand what Texas was going through until you get a taste of what the amount of people coming in. So I think he made his point clear in regards to saying, hey, I can't do anymore. I can't protect anymore. I can't, this is nonstop.
So president or mayor?
No, the governor from Texas.
Oh, right.
The governor from Texas was complaining about it and nothing was done. So what he did was ruthless, but I understand because he wanted others to speak on that same behalf, to say, hey, you know what? We need everybody to get involved in that. We need everybody to get involved in securing the borders and helping build the nation and just making sure that, hey, there is a process that's done and is done correctly. It shouldn't
Everybody
be.
needs a fair share.
So
Yeah.
Fair share.
Yeah.
So I guess one of the things I want to ask too, and I gotta let Roderick in, but in terms of resources, you mentioned resources just now, John. I'm wondering in terms of funding and money. The government have more debt ceiling right now, right? So they're gonna try and get that raised again. But to get resources, you gotta have the funding as well. How does that work right now? How is that gonna work?
Well, they got to provide the funding, man. You got to provide the line items for the country. You can have the states expend the money, but they want to be able to be reimbursed. That's what it's about.
And it's true because New York spent a lot of money. In the
What I'm saying?
Yeah, New York spent a lot of money fronting, putting people and setting them up. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you can get the money that you put out there in order to support everyone. So I guess you and Roderick are coming in at the same time. Anyway, thank you, listeners, for joining us. Simone, Ruby, thank you for joining us. Empress, it's nice to see you again. So yeah, a lot needs to be done. And unfortunately, the governor did it one way, but until he was able to make a point where people from another state can speak the same language, it was done. So now the message is coming from all different sides, not only from Texas, but it's coming from New York, and every state is saying, hey, you need to do something about it. Why did you mess up the camera? It was fine the way it was.
Exactly.
Oh my God, come in, adjust the camera. Lord have mercy. Dr. Andre Doman had set it up.
My man fuck up everything. You know that. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Wait, no,
My
it's turned.
God.
Okay, so-
Good evening, Roderick. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening, Dr. Bryant. It's very, very exciting to be here. Can you hear me?
No,
We can hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear in the studio. Maybe it's the headset.
I can hear you.
All right, so maybe it's my headset. So, sorry, people, to be late. I was at my son's game on the other side of Brooklyn. By the time I left the game, I just couldn't get here on time. So I'm apologizing up front for my tardiness. And
Just don't let it happen again.
Very excited to be here, to talk to each and every one of you regarding
Simone, oh my God.
what's going on.
What's up, Simone? Yeah,
You know,
it's me in the flesh.
you know. So yes, it's John's.
Going to get the program kicked off.
We're
Oh no,
what were you
I'm not
talking about?
gonna
What's she
get the
talking about?
program. She said I'm gonna get the program kicked off because of my use of profanity.
No, she didn't.
Oh, okay.
What do we talk about so far?
Title
We were
42.
talking about the
That's going to
migrants.
expire at 11:59 this evening.
Okay.
We thought that's where you were at the border.
Thought you were at the border, my
You know,
brother.
actually, it's interesting because again, I think
See, here's the
Right.
problem. I'm gonna say something that might be a little controversial because here it is.
You never say anything controversial. I don't want to hear.
You have the people coming from Mexico that's at the border. Then you have people coming in from the boat and they're sending them back. The people coming in from Mexico, they're letting them on. And the people coming in the boat, little boats, they're sending them back to
Doc,
where
would
they
you,
came.
Doc, stop beating around the bush. Call it for what it is, please. You need to call it for what it is. What's your point? Let's get to the point.
My point is,
Yes.
different rules for different folks.
No, call it what it is, man. Racism. Say the word. It's racist. You can say it.
Project, pull up your mic.
No, you can't hear
Because
me.
we can't see John's face.
Oh, you're talking a lot today. What's going on? Why? You got so much to say today? John's face is ugly anyway. Nobody wants to see it.
All right. So yeah, it is. It is racism.
Yeah, it's blatant racism. But you know, people might not like Donald Trump, but I can tell you up front, Donald Trump, at least in his racist ways, he was very clear that he was a racist and a bigot.
So you're
Right.
saying, what are you saying? What are you
I'm
implying?
saying a lot of Democrats are a bunch of racists and a bunch of bigots, and they hide behind those things.
The Democrats, you're saying?
Yes,
Okay. See, I didn't say
But-
that.
I am.
Okay. Okay.
Right, I'm saying it. I don't have a problem saying it. Right. Right.
Hello, Jennifer.
You know.
Jennifer, Joseph,
so-
Walton family. What's up, family?
You know, John, I was speaking last night, yesterday, bringing greetings on behalf of the community board, and a friend of yours, you know, was very excited to,
Who the hell? Who's that?
very, very excited. He's like, "Yeah, I watch your show, Mark Pollock."
Oh, it's a good brother, man. Mark's
He's
a
a very good brother.
Good brother.
We're doing something called Cops and Kids, Dr. Bryant, where the kids get to be cops and pretend like they're the one that has the power, and the cops has to be like the person who doesn't have the power. These young people, because what is the mind frame? Right, your mind frame
Mm-hmm.
changes to know what somebody's thinking about what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and right, and so you know, it was a very interesting thing that that people are doing in terms of what's happening to try to alleviate some of the burdens of police situations.
Right.
And he said one thing that I thought was very important, that you are afraid of the police when they encounter you and you don't know what's happening. But they are also afraid. They're
Mm-hmm.
also nervous because
Mhm.
they've seen situations where because people react before they know what's going on. So they
Mhm.
see the police come and it causes some negative situation, like it's going left. And so does the police. It's both ways, right?
It's both ways. Read an article, I think today, about a 24-year-old cop in Chicago. She got off from work. She was riding home. 4 young men, 2 19-year-olds, an 18-year-old, and a 16-year-old, decided to, I guess, commit a robbery and shoot at her. While she was in the vehicle, she returned fire. Make a long story short, she died.
Oh,
24-year-old cop in Chicago.
oh yes, I saw that.
This,
It was two young folks that actually end up killing her.
it is just, and the, it's just like,
Am I gonna assume
It's
the
just
race
like-
of those two young folks?
it's just like today. I was in the process of taking my daughter to school, and two neighbors were arguing, I guess, over the egress for cars coming out of the driveway. Two grown men, and I mean loud. And I said, I told them, I told both of them, I said, this is not working. This is what are you fighting over? A parking spot? You're fighting over, having to wake up one neighbor to move his vehicle because he constantly leaves his vehicle. Whatever happened to this community, man? Whatever happened? People just, people are just, and one wrong decision, one wrong move can destroy you for the rest of your life.
Yep.
That is so true.
Sometimes you need to stop and say to yourself, is it worth it? Do we allow our egos to be that big
Yep.
in order to, the whole issue, do you disrespect? Don't disrespect. Man, you could disrespect me all you want to as long as you don't touch me, and I can come back. I can come back another day. But by the time you make that split second, and these two grown behind men getting ready to engage in a fisticuffs. And I told both of them, I said, is it really worth it to engage in this?
Right. John, the thing, I was at a domino match last week, right?
What else is there?
I played dominoes. It's the same thing.
Oh, man.
We're playing a domino match we play every Sunday. Our domino teams meet up and play. Two teams got into an argument, right, over a game.
Oh, just the other night.
Yeah, they got into an argument over a game.
Mm-hmm.
One man has a play. He's told the next man, it's your play. This is second hand. I wasn't standing there when it all happened, but second hand, I'm telling the story. The man said, I showed my hand.
Mhm.
The other man said, no, you did not.
Mhm.
The arbiter said, play over the game,
Mhm.
right? Because we can't make a decision. The game finished in a countdown because they're both elevated till one person start calling the next person out of their name. And you know what I mean by when I say out of their name?
Yes, Jennifer, really, we do play dominoes.
Yeah, right? Yes, I do play dominoes, Jennifer. Professionally. Right? Or amateur.
You know what? We should really push for Jennifer to host a dominoes tournament in the back, and she got a very lovely house.
Jennifer, you heard that.
Food
By
good. Food
Jennifer,
good, Jennifer. Food good.
Jennifer, we could talk off here because one of our elected officials asked me to do something like that. So
Yeah.
right, but it's the disrespect, the argument. I know somebody, right, who believes, like, I see people put cones in front of their house.
Oh man.
Yes, that get on my nerve.
Nerve.
Goodness,
My
that
nerve.
Yo,
It
how do you put
my
you put a
nerve.
cone
Like,
like you
they
own the parking spot in front of your house? No, you don't.
No.
It's a public street. You put a cone.
I see that. No, and the worst is on in my neck of the woods, you have a house on the block who owner bought the house, does not live there, lives in Florida, and rents the backyards out to have parties. One night they were thumping on a Saturday night Friday night till 4:30 in the morning. We have no courtesy, total disrespect, no courtesy whatsoever for your neighbor.
Yep. you know, and people are getting, you know, it's like, you know what
I
I
said, Jennifer, I keep doing what?
right?
What Jennifer says I keep
Right.
doing.
Hold on. I'm got. Let me get back to it. Right.
I
The-
keep trying to come to my house.
you keep trying to come. Yeah, and I'm trying now too, Jennifer. So don't worry. John and I both will be showing up. So the real conversation is, to what extent are you going to hurt yourself and willing to hurt somebody else over something? Like literally, you put a cone in front of your house. Why? So if somebody moved the cone, what you gonna do?
Maybe
You know what I'm
keep
saying? Yeah, at that point, you're gonna have to argue. Like I have one neighbor who never parks in front of my other neighbor's house, but always parks in front of my house and beyond. But I've lived on my block I've owned the house for 15 years this year. I've never seen, because of this neighbor, because again, I guess he's like, I park there. I don't care. Right? When I come home, if there's no other parking, I'm pulling up. I've never moved the cone because I've never had to get to that. But that's crazy. You have to tell your neighbors what? Not to park in front of your house or move the cone. Which one?
You got to tell your neighbors. I mean, but how mindless.
How is this one? When you don't even own a car,
You're right,
and you complain.
Yeah.
When you don't own a car.
Yeah, you're right, Jennifer. Respect is dead, man.
Yeah, you don't own a car, but you fight. Anyway, we could talk about this all day. This month is, and you know what, Dr. Brian, it kind of touches on one of your favorite subjects, mental health. Right.
Hold on. Let's get to the topic of, should that young man be arrested?
Which
what
one?
happened on the train with the individual?
With Jordan Neely?
Jordan Neely.
Yes, he should be arrested.
He should be what?
Arrested.
Why is that?
He choked the guy to death. It's manslaughter.
But why is that, man? You know what, villagers, and this.
Okay, why do you think he should go to jail?
This is what I'm talking about, and this is what happens. The young, disabled young man up in Harlem, they pulled him off. A group of kids pulled him off the train, beat him up. No one intervened. Individual on the subway waiting for the train gets pushed on the tracks by a homeless individual. The airlines, when you're on the airlines, there's a commotion. Individuals engage, what happens? On the train, these are the things that you constantly hear every single day in the media. Oh, it took me out, man.
That's you? I'm just trying to fix it.
In the media. So, in an environment has been created that, do we wait for someone to do something, or do we try to use preventive measures to have some sense of safety at that point in time? But this has been a situation created by the constant media, the constant media onslaught of incidents such as this. So you have an individual who comes on a train who's acting erratic, and definitely mental health is a big issue. And what's the first thing you'll do when you see somebody get on the train start acting erratic? You can't wait till the next stop comes, and you just step out the next stop and you go to the other car.
Yep.
Or you leave.
Yeah, you leave immediately.
Or you leave. How many times have you seen, what was it? I think it was an individual beat up a person on the train in front of everybody and nobody intervened?
Because they're scared.
They're scared. So in this instance, do we wait? Does the young man wait until the individual on the train starts saying he's hungry, starts carrying on, or whatever it is? Do we wait till he pulls out a weapon? Do we wait till he pulls out a weapon? He pulls out a, best example is the man who got on the train in Sunset Park, threw the smoke bomb and started shooting. What do we do? There's an environment that has been created by the media because of the onslaught of the articles of crime on the subway, crime on the plane, crime here, people acting erratic. So people are scared and apprehensive when something like this happens. They get paralyzed. So you have somebody who jumps in. Of course, it was involuntary. You know what you want to do? Involuntary. I can agree. But the whole point is before you go ahead and do all this, you need to, and as the DA is doing, investigate all of them. Because you had two other men surrounding him. You know,
Surrounding who?
who's in that vicinity where the
So
chokehold was being placed. What I'm saying is this. You know, yes, was it involuntary? One can argue that yes, it was involuntary manslaughter. However, if I was his lawyer, I would send my client into the grand jury because everybody in a grand jury, most of them ride the trains. And when they see something like that, what do you do?
But tell us what they saw. That's what I'm asking you, Doc. What did they see? What did they see that you think that? Why would you think that he should plead not
I
guilty?
was not there, but from what I heard, he was acting erratic. He was carrying on. What do you do? What do you do? Of course, he could have retreated and moved to another car, but you had a person, a good Samaritan, trying to engage. And I take, for example, my what I did this morning with my neighbors. I didn't have to do anything. I could have let them cats just go at it, and who knows what would have happened. You know. So I'm just throwing that out.
But here's the thing. Yes, he was a good Samaritan or whatever, but at what point do you say enough is enough? Because
What do you use to determine
as a trained military person, you know that there's certain forces that you put on people, and just like a martial art person or a boxer, there's certain techniques that you take.
So we're punishing him for being a military person? Are we punishing him? Are we holding to a higher standard?
No,
Dr. Bryant?
No,
So
but his stance will be considered. He knows certain techniques that can kill someone. He was trained for that. So that's
too long.
Yeah.
How long is too long?
So
how long did he hold on
to the man died?
How long he held on to it?
You have two other. No.
Was there a pre-existing condition that he had
Yes, wait. When you are putting,
I just think if you're gonna try and like subdue someone, the chokehold that they use,
yes,
that shouldn't be that. You could have subdued by even
you know what? We can all say that, but we are not in that situation.
Over 15 minutes, Jennifer said he jumped in.
Who said 15 minutes? No. It wasn't 15 minutes.
Let me tell you, the man was squeezing him. And the thing is, there's a certain amount of squeeze that you put on an individual that you know that you are blocking their pipe, their windpipe. Come on. You have two other individuals standing next to you. He's not going to get up and do anything when you have him on chokehold. You have two other individuals. Okay, you want to sedate him, you want to hold him, fine.
All my
Eric Garner, they had him in a chokehold, and here it is. They said no. Come on, man.
Do not intervene. Stay away. Get out. Do not intervene. Whatever happens, happens.
No. If you intervene, you have to know your limits. When
how you going to know your limits when you're engaging? When you're engaging in the situation, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what this man has.
Stop moving. He was choking. He has two other people holding him down.
You put in the headlock and hold him down, and next thing you know, you snap and you get up.
And it's similar to it is similar to the other cases. If you look at
what other cases?
Eric Garner, they had him in a chokehold.
That was the police had him in an illegal chokehold.
Well, guess what?
Who saved the aim of a person who is acting erratic. What do you do, Dr. Bryant? So the next time a person acts erratic and he pulls out a switchblade and pulls out a gun, what are we going to do? Oh my God!
Wait, Dr. Bryant, I'm going to jump on Dr. Sampson's case.
Yes, please.
No, not jump on his case. I'm going to jump on your case. And say the following. I realize that a lot of times you think that it's just walk away, right? I think and that's the one thing, right? When can you walk away? Because you can't always just walk away because you don't know what's going to. Now I wasn't there, and I don't know who's right and who's wrong. but there's a point where you just can't walk away. Because if you walk away, whether you stay or go, remember, in a volatile situation,
Let me see the questions.
right? In a volatile situation, right? There are three things that you can do. You can flee, fight, or freeze in a situation. And you have to decide which one of those three that you're able to do. Flee.
So
Fight
here, if you're
or
gonna fight,
freeze.
are you gonna fight to kill? The man didn't
You
physically.
might have to. You might have to.
He didn't physically attack them. He did not.
Again, you
Somebody-
might have to.
No, man. No.
I'm not saying, wait, we weren't there. I wasn't there. But my point, again, and Andre pull up some of those things, right?
John Llewellyn said,
Right.
my full name. All right, Jennifer.
Right? I'm just saying, I'm not saying you're wrong, Dr. Bryant. I'm not saying that
But he's
Dr. Jackson's
trained.
right.
That is what Marines, Army, soldiers are done. They're trained to kill. So if you're using a certain tactic
They're
to
not
hold
trained,
him
they're
down,
trained to
hold him
disable.
down.
They're trained to disable, disarm. That's what they're trained to
Many
do.
times you're trained to kill, similar to police officers. When they shoot to kill. Period. So you're
They
trained.
shoot for you to stay down.
No, half of the time. Come on, let's think about this.
Again, they
cases
shoot
have we
for
had?
you to
How many
stay.
cases have we
Listen
had?
again.
People
So
have
we want to
not.
be clear. They don't shoot to kill. They shoot
don't
for you
shoot.
to
Police
stay
officers
down.
do not shoot to kill.
They shoot for you to stay down.
Well, they never aim an area where you can stay
That's right.
down.
They never shoot for the head.
Area. So
Listen again. They don't shoot for the head. They shoot for the body. They shoot for you to stay down. I want to let us be clear, right? I'm not saying you're wrong, but I want to make sure that we make the right statements. They shoot for you to, so if you staying down, that's why a police officer.
stay down means you're dead by the time.
No.
It
It can mean that you're dead. Wait,
No.
hold on. It can mean that you're dead. A police officer does not shoot for the head, right? They shoot for the body, and they cannot stand over you and shoot.
Why they can't shoot for the leg? I mean, is it because of the?
And that's it's hard to hit that target, like to say into
let's
the
look
leg.
at
It's
many
hard,
of the cases
but
that
they shoot for the chest.
many of the cases that took place.
Say that again.
Many times it's not.
Jennifer, you're done. Why you done, Jennifer?
It's not
John Llewellyn Sampson. Stop. And by the way, a lot of people agree with you today, Dr. Bryant. Right? A lot of people agree.
He said, I'm hungry and I need a drink. I can understand. If he's hungry and
needing a drink.
I can understand.
Again, we weren't there.
We were not there.
But here's the thing:
Ain't
we're
no
not there. There is a but. When you are squeezing an individual, and all he wants is food, and he's screaming out, "Yo, I need food," whatever. Guess what? You have something in your hand, just give it to him or whatever. And
I think one of the things that I think the audience, Dr. Sampson said something that was very important that we're missing.
What's that?
Right? The media portrays the violence or the excessive violence on the train. We on this show, especially Dr. Bryant, talk about
Chimmy. What's up, Chimmy?
Mental health, a mental instability. Most people, including you, Dr. Bryant, are afraid. I don't even think you ride the train.
I don't.
Exactly. And I know more people nowadays through the media will not ride the train because they are afraid.
It's not being afraid.
Right? Afraid of the violence. Right? Doctor, welcome to the Village Radio Talk Show. Hello?
We can't hear. Put the mic next to.
I can't. I don't understand why. For the last couple of weeks, this shit is plugged in properly. Is that the mic? That's the headset. Good evening. Good evening. How are you? Who is this? All right, hold on, Natasha. Hold on. I don't know if you're on the air.
She's not on the air.
You're not on the air. Can we send you a link, Natasha, and you can just log in on that link? If you send me a text message at 646 504 5778. Send me a text message and then we'll send you a link. And then you can call in. She's going to call in about the adult social daycare. All right. So, the Mother's Day event.
Okay.
So you can call in a couple of minutes. All right. Give us 3 minutes and then we'll send you the link and then you're backstage. Make sure you're on, you know that you're on camera. All right. You will be.
All right.
You have a couple minutes.
So going back, I get it.
All right,
One attention. He goes in to help.
wait, Dr. Brian. So I will make a slight exception this time because normally people are on camera. You can turn your camera off because it's only going to be on for a couple of minutes anyway to talk about the program. But we'll send you the link just the same. We'll make an exception this time. All right. All right. Try to have it. No, because she's not going to be on camera. Oh, come off the camera, go to the side, make a nice little background, and then you can stay to the left of the camera. So at least have a background, is what my producer is saying. So if you're in a place where
you know what? Let me even go even further.
No, wait, let me just finish up with her. Just go on, like, I create a little background. You don't have to be on camera, but
Can Andre answer her?
All right, Andre, can you deal with her on the side, please? So we can finish
Thank
up the talk. All right, Natasha, just send me that text, and our producer will talk to you backstage.
Go ahead,
okay?
John.
All right,
Let me go even further. Just last week in Texas, guy gets out of his vehicle, and what does he do with AK-47? What does the young man up in Buffalo do? Get out of his vehicle again. So this is the constant onslaught of mass shooting, the constant onslaught of crime that we hear about in the newspaper, on the TV. So people are on edge.
Okay, that's fine.
You know, and this has been this environment has been created, meaning one of fear. We do not know what's going on.
And again, what are we doing? Again, why is
we
it?
don't hold on.
I want to ask Dr. Brian. Why doesn't she take the train?
Why don't I take the train? Because I don't. First of all, I drive everywhere. I don't live anywhere near the train.
If you're going anywhere, if you're going to Manhattan, you're going to Brooklyn, you're going to the Bronx, anywhere you're going, not even your children you want on the train, you drive them everywhere they're going. Why? Be honest. Say it.
Because I don't live nowhere near the train.
That's not true. Even when you live near the train, you still don't. You drive them to school. They do not take the train. They do not take the bus. Why? Be honest. Be upfront. I am afraid. Say it. Say it. Don't sugarcoat it. That's what Dr. Sampson is trying to say. People
No, you're putting words in my mouth.
I'm not putting words. I'm asking you to speak up. Is fear one of the factors? Yes or no? Is fear one of the factors?
You got that problem.
I didn't ask you that. I said answer the question, doctor.
Okay.
It must be afraid.
As Patricia Tim just wrote, she said, when the homeless and the mentally ill killing and hurting innocent people, do you all complain about the killing of innocent people? Everybody keeps their mouth closed because it is not them feeling the pain. The soldier did not mean the killing, but he was representing the innocent people on the train.
And that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
Well put.
Patricia. Good job, Miss Trim. I think that is.
James, how are you?
Hey, James, how are you? Welcome. Empress, there you go. Thank you, Monet. Be straight up. I am afraid.
I don't say, even before the pandemic, because I lived in
a pandemic. We're not talking about COVID.
No. Everywhere I went, I drove. So living in
No,
Suffolk
I'm
County,
scared. I'm scared too. Man.
Thank
You
you.
know those
I mean,
things.
you gotta admit it.
like,
You're afraid.
The privilege of driving. We have that privilege of driving around, man.
And I
Exactly. And we utilize that
everywhere.
privilege
I
because we know you drive everywhere.
I rode the train to Albany. That that I
Yo,
did.
they join the Amtrak. Yo, I'm telling you, she's very good at not answering the question.
All right, Roger.
Right? All right, Roger, what? You're finally admitting it? You make John. Yo, you make John run away. He's like, yo, she's full of. But when we are afraid, we move to the car. Yes. Yes. I agree, Jennifer. By the way, wait. I'm still waiting for Jennifer. You gonna call me later? I just want to know.
Not choke people. What? We're afraid.
Because you're a coward. You're afraid. You're
so
the one that's
gonna choking people. Everybody used to.
You're the one. You are the one who is going to flee.
Saying that. Thank you.
Flight. You're gonna flee or freeze.
That man is an army soldier. Come on, give me.
So what?
Nothing.
I'm gonna tell you straightforward. Right? This is me. I'm gonna tell you straightforward. If I am in a situation where fear comes in, right?
He is a soldier.
Yo, Doc, tell them you learned from them. Yo, Simone, you got jokes. You supposed to, Simone, she didn't learn. Yo, she was brought up. She's from Haiti. She learned to dodge questions.
Exactly.
She's from Haiti. She learned to dodge questions. But don't tell them. Don't let them bully you, Doc. We're not bullying her. We're asking her just to say the truth. What's going on?
No, you want me to admit something that I'm not going to admit because I didn't tell you that. You want to hear that for your own refreshness and everything. I don't care.
Then say I'm not afraid. Say I'm not afraid. Say it.
Roger, we're talking about the dead man right now.
No,
the dead
man. Again, the argument is what caused the reaction.
No,
I believe
the argument is he should have known when enough is enough. You don't choke somebody. And first of all, lesson learned. We had so many other individuals, like John said, it was an illegal chokehold. That's illegal. You're gonna go around and choke anybody who starts screaming and yelling and carrying on? Come on.
Yes. Listen, let me tell you something. We talk about mental health.
The beef.
Hold on. Okay. We talk about mental health. We do. Right? But when I have to bury my brother, my sister, my mother, my daughter, my cousin, my best friend, I have to go to this funeral because of mental health. Let's get real. I don't care that you're mentally unstable. I don't know my situation. And so I am going to fight. There are only two things that I will do. I will flee or fight. I'm not going to freeze. Period. It's very simple. I am not going to freeze.
You know how many times you go somewhere and people are screaming and carrying on? Are you just going to start choking right who you see?
No. I said when you're in.
I'm going to be honest with you. My beef is the people who are protesting. I need that same energy. When a young black girl gets shot up in Queens sitting in a car, I need that energy the same way. When somebody is walking down the street and they get shot, that same energy and protesting needs to be the same.
Yeah. So she'll call back.
That's my beef. Black Lives Matter thing. I understand if it was another black guy who actually choked him, I would have had the same response. You have no business choking and killing a man. If it was a white, black, whatever, purple person, I still have the same thing. But
I think I'm stuck on. I need more information.
Black man was in pain. I agree with you, Jennifer. We all in pain, but
absolutely.
We all in pain.
But
Andre, is there any way that we can because this is definitely.
Yeah, that's all it is.
No, I mean talking about move the mic. Maybe move the mic. I mean the camera this way and then turn it that way instead of putting it right here. So see if we can move it over there. Yeah.
So that's my beef.
No, keep going. Just keep going and put it over there at that corner.
Good evening. He was in pain. Next time.
And then turn it. So
she is on the train. She'll get attached. Certainly, she will be
going.
singing a different.
Something like
What attach? You mean attack? First of all, I don't ride the train because I drive everywhere. So you know.
Yeah. All right. So you know what? You shouldn't be talking then. Don't talk.
Why should I be talking?
Because now you're just being a Monday morning quarterback. Because you're never going to be in that situation. That's your point. So you're just talking from a perspective.
No, I'm not talking because of my perspective.
No, but I'm saying what I'm saying to you is that you don't. No. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying you don't have a perspective.
I do have a perspective.
No, you don't. You're talking about something that you will never ever understand.
Boom. There you go, David. As a trained soldier, he should know when enough is enough. That's the thing. He had no self-control. Don't tell me he didn't know. He didn't know. The man went limp. He was still squeezing. And the thing is, here's my beef. The beginning, if we didn't see the video, it was the first thing the media said is a man who was arrested several times. Oh, he was irate and carrying on or whatever, and boom, he ended up dying. They never said that somebody choked him.
See, Dr. Brian, Dr. Brian, you just made my point. It is the constant media onslaught that creates an environment where situations happen like this. It makes people afraid, it makes people apprehensive, and it makes people just, oh my God, something might happen. Let me react.
Yep.
Am I going to wait? It is that which has been created. The environment has been created where people are so afraid that some people don't want to ride the train.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, because you hear the statistics, you worry about when you're getting on the plane, who's going to be acting crazy on the train, going to the mall.
Right, but here's the thing. His death originally was reported as though it was insignificant. This is a man who died. He was significant, period. The problem is
just like
because he was homeless, because he had mental illness, it was disregarded in the beginning.
Right, let me just interrupt.
Until the video came out that people realized, wait a minute, he didn't just die like that. This was murder.
I agree with you. Let me interrupt for a moment. I'm not sure we're going to be able to hear her on screen, but on Sunday is Mother's Day, and there's going to be an event here in Brooklyn, a big event at 650 Remsen Avenue. So we have Natasha London on the phone. I know Dr. Brian cannot hear her, but I'm wondering if we can hear her on social media and on YouTube. So if anybody can hear her out there, just let us know that you can hear her. Natasha, welcome to the Village Radio Talk Show. What's happening this weekend?
Can't hear.
All right, so I understand, Natasha, that no one says they can hear. I'm not sure what's going on with the phone line. Say it again. It's,
You said she was going to text you, so she can call.
yeah, I did say for you to text so that we can do it because they didn't hear. But anyway, at the end of the day, let me tell you what Nakasha was calling about or is calling about. Maybe she can come back on about 8:30 using the link, right? So speak to Andre about using the link about 8:30 or so to talk about it. But on Sunday, May 14th, on Mother's Day, there will be a Mother's Day banquet, a Mother's Day gala at 650 Remsen Avenue, Grace Deliverance Tabernacle. Well, in the banquet hall on Remsen Avenue, and so asking for your support. For adults, it's $100. From young adults 18 to 25, it's $40, and children under 15 is free to show up. Come out with your elegant gown and see that it's at 4 p.m. on Mother's Day Sunday. I believe they'll be serving some really, 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 really good good food for you to come out and enjoy. So if you don't have something to do on Sunday, and even if you have something to do it, but you want to change your plans to come out, do come out and come on Sunday, 650 Remsen Avenue, Grace Manor. All mothers will be honored and recognized for coming out. Nakasha, if you can, Andre will speak to you off the air, and then we can work on the link because the phone is not working.
Yeah.
All right. No problem. God bless you. God bless you. Take care. And thank you for calling in on the Village Radio Talk Show.
Thank you, David, for what you said. Because he was marginalized in our society, he was deemed insignificant, and so was his death. We just can't keep going around killing citizens that frighten us. 100%.
Hold on.
100%. Was marginalized.
Hold on. The same energy we having is the same energy we need to. Same energy that people having on the show tonight is the same energy we need to have when you got brothers and sisters in our community.
Bring the mic down, Roger. Bring your mic down.
Yeah, we're trying to see John's face. I don't know, for some reason today.
Constantly killing one another.
Exactly.
We talk about our mentally ill. We're not providing the necessary resources for those who are mentally ill. And we need to be held accountable ourselves to understand that the plight that exists here is because of our inability for us to elect people who are going to handle issues such as this. This is what it's all about.
And I'm going to agree with that because I think our guest, our elected officials coming on tonight,
15 minutes, running 15 minutes.
Right, will be addressing the mental issue. I think Patricia brings up a good point, right? And I think that's part of what the problem is when we look at mental health. Patricia says mentally ill people will kill you and be set free. Why should a trained soldier be charged for accidentally hurting a violent man when he is defending himself from the enemy? Again, I wasn't there. I don't know if he was defending himself, but the reality is, what?
Are you playing music?
No. I don't agree. Right. I don't agree with everything. I don't know what was going on, but I think, again, my reaction is going to come from what is really happening with right, what what I will do. I do know that the media, and ourselves included, it will react to something that is happening, because I know a mentally ill person, a man is arrested 26 times and let out of jail and commits a crime. If you are arrested 26 times and you don't have no real time,
and let me go even further. How many times I guess I'm guilty of this, and sometimes I guess we're guilty. Every time we see a person on the street asking for a little help,
That's
hold on.
wait, no,
Every
I'm
time
just looking at what
we ask them
James.
for a little help, sometimes we help, sometimes we don't help.
I'm actually afraid to speak to. I would say outright, I'm actually afraid to address a mentally unstable, a homeless person, because of what I see in the media. I can tell you that up front. So my guard is up, right? My guard is up. I don't know that this is true, James. What do you think, John? So Patricia wrote, asked Jennifer, were you a soldier? If you were never military personnel, then don't speak about a soldier responsible to protect and defend, right? I think protect and defend comes to the country, not the individual. James wrote, that's not true. Mentally ill, talking about the going to jail. Mentally ill people get convicted too. Yes, but not they don't. Nobody's saying they don't.
They do get convicted, but the problem is they don't. Once they get convicted, they don't really provide the necessary services that they need to deal with their mental illness, man. Right. Mental illness is real. It is real. It is evident. You know, what are we doing to tackle it? You know, it's no more. We can't hide behind it no more.
And there's no look for it. It could be, you know, a regular individual that's a doctor, that's a medical doctor. That it could be, you know, a child. For example,
you look at our co-host. Logic is crazy, but he's able to take his meds and able to deal with it.
Thank you, John. I make sure I take my meds right before I get to the show because I got to put up with you and Dr. Brian. I'm going to say, James, I don't. Yeah, we do need to move on, but I want to just address this. I don't want to bring the racial component into it because it's a white man versus a black man, right? I do think that as a black man, I'm going to react, right? Is the white man going to not face justice because he's white? I don't know, but I don't know that this is a racial thing yet. It could be, but I don't see it as it. I think it's more media portrayal of negativity.
You know, it is media portrayal, but you know, it's a shame in our society that, you know, we always say we've come so far, but yet we haven't.
No, we haven't.
Because people still get judged by the color of their skin.
And their class. And their class.
Most of their class, definitely. And it's just alarming. No matter how much how educated you can be. You know, a friend of mine told me she was in court with her attorney. And her attorney was a black young man. And she was what I could say, a Caribbean woman. Very fair skin and light. And the judge turned to her and said, excuse me, to her, where is your client? Is this your client? And she had looked and says, Your Honor, that's my lawyer. It's just so those subtle things just shows you
our lack of expectation.
Yeah, exactly. How far we haven't come. You know, in the mindset of people. So villagers, what do y'all think about the infamous George Santos?
Oh my God.
Come on, Dr. Brian.
What
do you think about George Santos? Yesterday, was it yesterday?
Yesterday. It was yesterday.
He was indicted on 13 counts. 13 counts.
It's about time. It's about time. I'm sick of him. It is about time. That man is a pathological liar. He's living in La La Land. It's come on. And the thing is, I blame the Republican to continue. The only reason why he's still there is because he helped.
No, he won his race fair and square.
No.
The Democrats did not do their freaking homework.
Yes, I blame them too.
You know what? And he has to be removed by his people.
And they won't, because it helped the Speaker of the House maintain his power. He voted for him in all the sessions that they had. He voted for him in order to become. So that's the reason why he's hesitating to remove him. because he has that little.
Why do you can't remove someone just because they were indicted? He's not been convicted.
But he
He's just
lied.
been indicted.
Well,
He is-
I would not have given him a
wasn't given-
significant role
He
on
wasn't
any,
given. He wasn't given any committee assignments. No.
right? For the foolishness. But so yesterday, just to bring everybody up to date, our infamous George Santos was indicted on 13 counts of federal fraud by the federal government for misappropriation, primarily of campaign money, fraudulent filings, federal filings, and I don't know what all 13 counts were, but they were all primarily around the campaign and what he did to get.
Not only the campaign, he was receiving unemployment check during COVID when he was still working full time. So all the people who decide, hey, I'm gonna work and I'm gonna collect unemployment, they investigated that.
And not pay their rent when they owe their money to the landlord.
Yep.
Well, that's
And
another topic.
here's
for
the
another
thing:
day.
he took
So,
campaign finance money.
the seven
Also
counts.
pay his rent, his car payment to his account. How dumb can you be? You're taking
Right.
money that you said you're gonna actually put towards an election and use it for your personal use to go and pay your car payment, your rent, and all that. He's a clown.
So he had to pay 500. What is it like when you pay $500,000? You have to put up 50, right? 10%.
No. He paid $500,000. It was a bond of $500,000, but he released him on his own recognizance. There's a bond for $500,000.
So what? Okay, explain that to my audience.
Well, audience, his bond is $5,000.
$500,000.
$500,000, and pretty much they allow him to walk out of the courtroom as long as he has some form of collateral or whatever it is.
So what would he put up as collateral?
He would put up, any assets that you have.
Mike.
Any assets that you have. You don't have to put up 10% anything. You don't have to do that. No, you have the bond, and you put up whatever assets you own.
So and they took away his passport.
If he has asset, because he lies about everything.
It's a lie. 7 counts of wire fraud, 3 counts of money laundering, 1 count of theft of public
Ladies
funds,
and gentlemen,
and 2 counts of making
my
material false statements.
villagers, let me tell you something. Don't always trust the feds.
John's favorite statement.
Don't trust the feds. Look at what
All right.
happened to
That man.
Hold on.
has-
Let me get it. Don't trust the feds. Look what happened to my man up in Harlem, Lieutenant Governor. Look what happened today. Supreme Court just ruled that the conviction for Joe Prococo, who used to be senior aide to Governor Cuomo, was just overturned. Also, the developer overturned because of the overreaching of the federal government. Just because they think something is a crime does not necessarily mean it's a crime. It's the same thing as our honorable President number 45, Trump. Trump exposed the DOJ and the FBI for what they are. They're engaging bias, partisanship. Overt. They're overt.
Roger, we can't see you, John. Move your headphones.
John, speaker. She said speak up.
No, we can't see him. Your headphones is in the way.
Oh, you can't see him.
So, you know what? George Santos, we'll wait until all the facts come out.
Well, that man has mental illness. He does have mental illness. He truly does. That is a clear sign that something is wrong. When you can lie about
so therefore he needs treatment then.
He does.
Okay then.
He shouldn't be in any elected.
No, why should he be? Why should he not be in an elected position? Because he lies and he has a mental illness, as you say. He needs to be treated for his mental illness, right? We don't need to take just because he's mentally ill, we should shun him away. Shouldn't we embrace him and provide him support to help him?
but when his party don't even want him, and he's
In
stealing,
respect, but
and
now
even
we
more
feel how mentally ill people feel. Nobody wants them, and they let them
he
hang out in the
is
streets and become homeless.
here.
So
No,
shouldn't we assist him, Doc?
no, I'm not saying all that. John, you're putting things in my mouth.
Dr.
Here's
Bryant.
are dealing with people's lives. You're responsible for many decision-making situations. You're responsible for money and making deals and doing all types of things. He should not be in that position because he is a pathological liar. In addition to that, he has
It's a mental illness he has, Dr. Bryant. So we need to support him. We shouldn't shun him, and he shouldn't go to jail because
we
he's a
support him, but
pathological liar.
he's nowhere near any position to affect other people's lives in a way that would destroy further on. He is baby Trump. He is absolutely.
No, you talking about baby Trump? You know who's
That's
worse than baby? Who is worse than baby Trump? At least I know who baby Trump is.
In Florida.
Ron DeSantis.
I agree with him. I agree with him. I agree with him.
He is more dangerous than Donald Trump and Santos put together.
But I agree with him because of what's going on in the Caribbean.
No.
I agree with him.
What's going on in the Caribbean? You agree with DeSantis? What?
Well, let's tell people what John is talking about. So, Ron DeSantis to sign a bill banning Chinese from buying, but
sign a bill.
Wait, hold on. Again, it's reaching, right? I love the media, right? The media. That's what I'm talking about when I say the media allowing. It's not banning Chinese from buying land in Florida. It's banning Chinese from buying large amount of land in Florida. But the media left out the word large. It's not. No. They can buy land. They can buy land. They can buy property, but they cannot buy major land like you'd use for development.
Why not? Why can't they develop it?
Right. Hey, listen. Look what's going on in Jamaica. Jamaica has sold its soul to the Chinese. I don't know.
So what's wrong with that?
Everything's wrong with that. So I don't know. So basically, he signed a bill on Monday that banned Chinese from buying land in the state. In the recent news, so the Republicans that signed up the bill to two others, which meant everything counteract blah blah blah, the malign influence of Chinese communism in the state of Florida. So he's anti-communist, which is bad. One bill restricts from buying land unless they're also American citizens and are permanent residents. So it's not just the Chinese; it's the outside Chinese coming in and buying land for development. Chinese were not with
I have a problem.
Bills also restrict foreign citizens from other countries from buying land under certain circumstances.
It starts with Chinese, then it goes to black, then it goes to gays.
It goes to it's going to countries. Wait, hold on. It's in countries that the political views are not consistent with democracy. So you talk about Russia, Iran, Cuba, Syria, North Korea, Venezuela. So you're talking about all of these countries that are either of communist influence or dictatorship, right? Now within 10 miles of, and they cannot allow to buy stuff within 10 miles of military base. Some of these things that critics, listen, the North Korea, not for nothing, John, and communist China, they're launching missiles, right? They're launching missiles, right, across the world.
Right.
And I don't know. I think, and again, it goes back to fear.
Right.
One of the things is fear factor.
Right.
You might not have proof of anything,
right,
but you are afraid of everything.
Right.
That's a problem.
True.
So he's saying that the Chinese people have shown propensity.
My Asian brothers and sisters, that's what you're talking about.
Right. To be very negative in terms of what they're doing, both economically and militarily. Is he right? Maybe.
No.
He's wrong.
He's wrong. He's discrimination 101. Again, he
That's
is
culture,
out of control.
Culture,
He's going to start for one. He's going to start for another.
Pitting our Asian brothers and sisters against us.
So are you saying it's World War II again?
He would love to see it.
Yeah, that man is out of control, because the thing is, you'll start with that one, and then he'll come up with another bill for
Well,
some.
he spoke about, let's be clear, the bill includes, he didn't just start with one, Chinese. So it's, let me bring it to
It's
you.
discrimination.
Exactly, Kareem, you're right.
Right? It is discrimination. It's like the larger population, the most influential population of all those people is the Chinese. You don't hear the Russian, anything about Russia or Iran in the media. You hear about the Chinese, but there are other nations that are included. And again, I keep touching on this, and we're part of the media as well. The media is pushing the agenda that they want to push.
Of course.
And the agenda they want to push is the Chinese component. Should he say that no one is, only specific people are allowed to buy these land? Hey, Auntie Marine, how you doing?
That's
Welcome,
why
Kareem.
they have laws. There's laws, real estate laws, that you cannot discriminate against individual based on race, their sexuality, or anything. So now he's going against certain laws that's in place to prevent that. And as a governor, he should be ashamed of himself.
You are really, I did not realize you were so far left. You're really left.
Anyway,
I thought you were moderate like me. I know you're not far right like John, but I thought you were at least moderate like me. You're like far left. You're like liberal. You're too liberal.
Well, guess what? I was very independent for a very long time.
You're not independent. You're a liberal. You are far left.
And
you rather sell the soul of your country far left for people to do whatever they want.
Let me tell you, the reason
I look
why
at Jamaica. I look at the Chinese population in Jamaica.
With Jamaica, what? Haiti has the same thing.
And that's one of the things that that's
why we have a
about that he's running from.
Of individuals, you cannot pick and choose who's gonna live somewhere and who could buy somewhere.
It's how much they can buy and
so
where
what?
They can buy.
So what? Get over it.
Yeah, all right, Doc. With you.
I'm not with you.
Power to my Asian brothers and sisters.
I'm not with you. But if you're born American, although the born American can be influenced by the exterior American as well. So if I'm born 9/11, I don't remember the number anymore. I think 32 or 33 people are involved. All of them were American, were legal people in the United States. Yes, Andre, you ready? So thank you, everyone, and thank you for watching The Village. Known to you that we are brought to you by the Single Parent University. The Single Parent University is all about you as a single parent to help you with personal development, mindful parenting, support seminars for anything you need, financial management, nutrition and wellness. If you are attending, you will get free transportation, free childcare, social support hub, resume and cover letter writing, career exploration, legal assistance. Call 646-779-6767 or text SBU to 71441. And again, Single Parent University. I think we have to start learning to protect our country. Grace Family Services, we also brought you by Grace Family Services Adult Daycare. They did an open house last week, Saturday, April 30th. Major success. Looking for more people to come out. Looking for assistance with Medicaid. If you have Medicaid, you're looking for an assistant to come out. The program is free. You just have to have the qualified insurance to do that. It will be at 1330 Utica Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. There will be an open house next week, Saturday. That's May 20th, May 20, at 1330 Utica Avenue, starting at 10 a.m. 1330, bringing your adult out so they could have a very good time. Number 646-504-5778 or 347-770-8446, 347-770-8447. 646-504-5778, or send an email to gracefamilyadult@gmail.com, or check out the website at www.gracefamilyasd. That's Grace Family Adult Social Daycare, ASD, care.com, where you can get breakfast, lunch, a supper, depending on the time of the day. We'll be having barbecue, field trips, dancing, live DJs, birthday and anniversary celebration, and a whole lot of activities for you to enjoy yourself. Again, food is brought to you by Kiva Management, and you get some very good Caribbean food.
All right, guess it's here.
All right. So thank you. And our guest is here. I see she's sitting in her car because she was at a big event, and she was enjoying that. Let me see what you wore to the event. Lower the camera a little bit. See what you were in the summer, woman. What did you wear to the
Give
event?
me a break.
I thought it was like the whole Ghanaian African garb that she was
Where's the
wearing.
microphone?
How you doing?
Where's the microphone?
I'm doing well. Green for Mental Health Awareness Month. That's the color.
Awesome. Welcome
Thank
Assembly
you.
Member Monique Chandler Waterman to
Yeah.
the Village Radio Talk Show, where you're no stranger. Normally you're in the studio, so I
Yeah.
know our public advocate is having something today, so I figured that's where you are and hanging out. For how is that going, by the way?
Well, we definitely, Jordan Neely, there was a candlelight visual for him in honor of his death. So we did speak out. So it was a very heavy day. I started off, well, that's where I was at before Jamani Williams, and then another meeting. So it's a lot going on as we celebrate Mental Health Awareness Month. Of course, we wear green, but we have to really talk about the serious issues when it comes to the lack of funding and resources and policy when it comes to mental health. We can't wait till someone is dead. This shouldn't have happened to Jordan Neely. This is something that where we need to make sure mental health, real intentional mental health services. We need peer specialists. I don't know if everybody know what a peer specialist is. It's someone who lived the experience. They may have a particular diagnosis, and they are actually at the forefront of making sure treatment is happening. That's community center, person center, and be sure care and compassion. So there's a lot of work we have to do when it comes to what happened with Jordan Neely as far as homelessness and mental health service and just straight up wraparound services.
Assemblywoman, I totally agree with you. And, when the prior mayor, his wife was entrusted with, I think, $1 billion to help mentally, to deal with the mentally ill in our society and programs, I didn't see much of that. And, with Mr. Neely, it's a very sad situation, but we had a discussion in the studio tonight. It's about the environment that has been created around mental health, stigmatizing it as it's only associated with crime on the subway, crime in the airplane, crime on the mall. There's an environment that has been created. So the question then is, if you're a good Samaritan and a situation like that happens, do you react? What do you do? Do you come to the aid of somebody? It's just like up in Harlem, when you had the young man who was developmentally disabled, and they lured him off of the train and they beat him up. A group of teenagers beat him up while passengers looked upon and did not intervene. So at what level do we want our strap hangers to engage or people in society to get involved? If you're looking at a situation like this, which went from, it's unfortunate that this young man had to die, but now, like you said, it metastasizes into rallies and bringing to attention, but this only happens when something like this happens. What about all the other days with all the other people who have mental illness that we see on the streets and in the subways?
Well, I would say that the triggers pull before the triggers pull. So before that, there's a lot that had to happen. Number one, I don't know if everybody knows there's a new number, 988. If someone's having a mental health crisis, they could call for a non-police response, not 911. 988 is a new number where it's a crisis hotline, and you could speak to a mental health professional that could offer services. There needs to be a lot of destigmatizing and decriminalizing when it comes to mental health service. In our Black and Brown community, we're not talking about it a lot. There needs to be more education around it. I think that there was a lot that needs to happen before that day happened, I know there's a lot of fear and there's a lot of unknowns when it comes to someone with mental health crisis. There was no conversation with Jordan Neely, from my understanding. He was saying he was thirsty, he was hungry, he didn't attack anybody, he didn't assault anybody, but I don't think there was a dialogue with him. I traditionally, not to say this is the best thing, I normally go to another cart, right? And that's like just a quick response to it. But overall, it's really multi-layered. This is a multifaceted issue that happens way before Jordan gets on that train and is in crisis that needs to be dealt with. When the homeless in the shelters, there's no mental health providers there in a real way to really help. There's so much policy and funding that's needed to be really deep rooted in this issue that is not happening. We're not educated about it. We're scared. It's a stigma, and we are focusing, going off of fear a lot of times. And we're not, and the person didn't feel safe engaging, but they held him. But how do you hold someone to the point they're dead, right? Because he was not attacking anyone in that moment. It was no weapon. He's a human being, even though it may look scary, all are one or two situations away from mental health crisis. Remember, this could be you, your brother, your father. You have to look at the person as, if this was my family member, how would I want to treat them? If we start from there, if we have no education, that is one way to start. And I do have family members.
I agree.
100%.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But tell that to the families in Texas who went to the mall and the guy just gets out and shoots him. Tell that to the families up in Buffalo where the guy gets out the vehicle and shoots him. Everybody has this, when do we, my whole, it's a touchy situation. Like you said, it happened way before he and Mr. Neely entered that subway car. So the whole point is and then now this young man the Marine who chose to act, now, he's alive, like you said, he caused the death of someone else. But in his mind, when it happened at the time, he thought he was coming to the aid of people that was created because the constant environment. You go on the train, you go on the airplane. The minute somebody starts making loud noises, people are heightened. Oh my God, they're getting nervous. So it has a lot to do with the way the media has portrayed mental health, mental illness, that has made people so apprehensive and fearful that they feel that they need to engage with a homeless person who was just hungry and just needed.
And that's what he said. He was hungry and thirsty.
But Dr. Brian, we could all say that. But I don't know. I haven't heard about anybody else from those trains, those other people who were involved, that really saying that this young man did anything. He was reckless to the point where he wanted to kill this man. This was purely an accident. But, you don't know. I mean, I'm not there. Nobody was there. And we don't know what was going through anybody's mind in that car.
And we don't know what the belief system was. Patricia wrote Teddy wrote.
Mr. Bailey.
All right. Yes, Mr. Bailey Sr. Is that if the Marine was a black man, I do agree with some of this, but I know that you and I have done work together addressing black and black crimes and calling it what it is. So you and I have done the work. So let's look at it from a different angle, which says, are people in uproar because it's a white on black crime? Or is it because of the injustice of a mentally health person?
Or because they released the individual, because originally
that comes with it though. That comes with the release. I'm just saying, are the Black Lives Matter? Are these people in uproar because it's kind of like a police brutality case? The police kills a black
white man, not a
because it's a real point, because I don't see a lot of uproar when blacks are killing blacks, regardless of what it is. Every day.
That is
true. But I know you and I have work. I would defend you that you and I have work together. You're muted. You're muted.
Oh, I'm muted?
Yes.
No, fine.
She was muted.
Okay. So what I would say, it's a human being. A life taken is traumatic in every situation. I think that's point blank, period. As y'all know, for 20 years, I fought against reducing gun violence, but it comes with resources and wraparound services and affordable housing. I know y'all think it's not a rhetoric. It's not just something to say, but literally people out here do not have the correct resource or the proper resources. So it starts way before we get to the train station. But I think regardless of life taken, and I think there was other ways, if they felt he needed to be restrained, it didn't have to end in his death. When
Yes.
you are, say if I'm a black belt, right, in karate, I can't even, or a boxer, like you can't even you can't even fight or do certain things in public because you are trained professional. And as a
Yes.
trained professional,
Your
you
hand
know
is a
how
weapon.
to kill somebody as a trained professional. This is a Marine's a trained professional as well. So I'm like, even if you got to that point, there was ways that if you wanted to restrict them or if you feel that was needed, because none of us was there, you are correct. But I don't want to just take one situation with this one Marine and just a life that's lost, Jordan Neely, which is very, very, his life matter. There is so many situations that's happening because we're not really taking it seriously when it comes to the policy and the budget and what needs to happen beforehand, way before we get to someone being dead. So I don't think it's just when it's just a black person, just a black white person. Unfortunately, it's happening at an alarming rate to our black and brown communities where we don't get the resources we need. So that systematically has been happening when it comes to our criminal justice system. So I don't know when people say black on black, whatever community you're in, if you're white, it's gonna be white on white crime. If it's Asian, it's Asian on Asian crime. So when they say black on black crime, let's not act like it only happens in the black community. Number one. But we're the ones who get the least amount of resources and told, go out there and conquer the world and do the American dream. We are at a deficit trying to live everyday life. So I think that when people say black on black, I hear what you're saying, but I, as an advocate, before I became elected official, has been fighting with this issue and been getting resources to the community. And as I brought 4 kids into this world, I knew it was my responsibility to make sure that I bring resources, create programs, and making sure we have wraparound services. That's where I fight hard too. So I understand what y'all do say, that some people just come out and speak when it's like a soundbite or there's lights and cameras. But for me, I've been doing this way before I was elected, and this is very heavy. And like I say, I live this in my personal life with my family members going through crisis. So unfortunately, this is not just something we see on TV. We're living with this in our houses. So we have to find a way to deal with mental health crisis. There's respite centers, there's clubhouses that we can build. There's also much mental health services that we need, like 988. I have to say it so much. There's not even a number that's being shared, public and wide.
That's so true.
So I want to.
We didn't know.
988.
Instead of calling
the conversation.
No, before you change the conversation, 988. Where can people find this? Where is it being posted? Where is it being spread? 988 for mental health, because automatically, and you're right. Many times people call 911 because their family member actually didn't take their medication. They pull out guns, they pull out knives, they call the police, and the first thing they do is they take out a weapon to seduce, you can't meet them there. So the 988 individual, when someone called 988, what happened? Who comes out? Can you elaborate?
It's actually a non-police response. That's number one, that what you need is a mental health professional. They ask a number of questions, right? And then they assess, do you need a mobile crisis unit? Do you need to go to a respite? If it's something that's highly escalated, there's weapons involved, that 988 is going to be kind of like too late at that point. Because as we know, we're not up to where there's a quick response like 911. So there's a number that's definitely working through a lot of different things because it's a brand new number, but basically you get a mental health professional on the line that's talking. So I encourage those family members, if your family member's not taking the medication, because once you're over a certain age, the family members can't even intervene. Once you're an adult, they're going to tell them that they're an adult and they cannot take their medication if they don't want to, right? So 988 is a number that you can call even before someone gets into crisis and to provide support. And I could definitely send information over.
Yes, please do. We would love to share that with our listeners a little bit more. Is that all over the city? Is that per borough? Is it per area? Is it affiliated with any precinct? If there is a crisis,
It's non-police response to Office of Mental Health, New York City Department of Health. So it's the state, the federal, everybody come together to share that number as well. It was a number created as we all advocated for an easy number. I worked with Link NYC, so it's citywide on the Link system. You know where you charge your phones?
No.
There's actually that you charge your phone. It's like it's called Link NYC. Is you probably don't recognize it. It replaced the phone booths, right, back in the days. And you could get Wi-Fi. You could charge your phone. We actually have it's advertised there as well with a number that you can press as well, 988.
So I continuing with the conversation around mental health. I want to ask you a question. You represent a primarily Black and Caribbean neighborhood, a community of 176,000 people strong, right? And one of the things that we found out, and we talk about this all the time on the radio, you have 988, you have crisis. We complain when the police comes out and does the ultimate, right, which is the ultimate negative, which is the loss of life, or wait till that mentally health person has committed an act that's irreversible, right? What, if anything, that your office, the state, is doing? We know that Blacks and Caribbean people don't address mental health, right? Not at the rate that other races do. I know that because I live in both of those families, right? So I'm speaking just primarily for my family. I don't know about yours, but mine is like mine. A lot of it is go pray, go to church,
yes,
or do this.
Stop doing foolishness. That's what they say. Stop doing foolishness.
Stop doing foolishness. There's nothing wrong with you, right? What, if anything, what are you doing in your office to
address this situation?
Address the ignorance of our Caribbean community. And
so what I would say is, since I took office, as an advocate, you're on the ground. When you're elected, it looks different. It's policy, it's legislation, it's getting resources down. So we started task force. So I have a mental health task force. Those with lived experience, some peer specialists. That means that they have a mental health condition and they are basically highly functioning. They work within a task force. And actually, when we talk about those who's impacted by someone in mental health, Dorothy Clark's sisters, she was someone that was stabbed by someone in mental health crisis. Their family's on the task force as well. We have Dwayne June's family, Shahid Vassell as well. So we have a number of people and perspectives on the task force, so we could talk through these issues. So we have people on both sides of the fence. Someone who's living a mental health crisis, a mental health condition, and someone who was impacted or killed, family members that was killed by someone with a mental health that was a mental health crisis as well. So we could hear those perspectives. So our office we meet monthly. We talk about policy. We talk about what we need in the budget, and that they lead the priorities to our office. So we have those collective voices. We have anti-violence groups that also have a mobile trauma unit. We have Drum BTTM, and they go around Brooklyn as well when someone, especially if they're shot due to they have gun violence impacted, and then they come out and they speak to those family members and the community as they're going through their trauma. So we do a lot of prevention and then intervention. Unfortunately, a lot of times we have to respond to those like actively in the crisis. But this is what the work look like: is education, education, education.
And I'm so glad you brought that up. Education, education, education. You also are big into financial literacy. So can you elaborate about some of the things that your office is doing in regards to that? Next time, you know what? Next time Stillwater have something, we definitely want you to come and share some information about financial literacy. That's an area that parents, guardians, children need to hear and to invest more time into.
Yes, definitely.
So we're actually having a function this Saturday where we're educating parents on different forums on literacy, math, special ed, or whatever. But that financial literacy aspect part is so important, because as the summer come around, we need parents and young folks to learn how to adjust and do things. So come on out this Saturday, stop by. It's going to be on 118 Rochester. May 13th from 12 to 3. So you should come out. You really should.
So much. I wanted to mention I'm doing a mental health event and
Oh.
also
Andre, can you bring that down, please? Andre?
hello, sorry. Can you hear me? Yeah, this Saturday we're actually having our Vital Voice meeting where we do civic engagement. So sorry, it's the same time. It starts at 11, and then we're doing our mental health awareness, wellness as well, and pre-Mother's Day event. So sorry, we won't be able to come out. We'll be at 905 Winthrop Street at Winthrop campus.
Okay.
So next time.
All right, so thank you for that. And I know we have 2 commercial breaks. So one is about the forum. Sorry, Assemblywoman. The second one is that on Mother's Day, we have a Bishop Hardin at his church will be hosting a Mother's Day event. Natasha, you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, good evening. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. On behalf of Grace Deliverance Tabernacle Church of God, under the leadership of Bishop Dr. Mervyn Harding and First Lady Reverend Chera Harding, we are hosting an elegant banquet to honor mothers and those that embrace the role of motherhood on Mother's Day at 4 p.m. Sunday, May 14, 2023, at Grace Manor, located at 650 Remsen Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11236. Mothers are a strong staple in every family. As we know, mothers should be celebrated every day, but we are giving back by hosting this exquisite banquet on this special day reserved to celebrate mothers. Adults are $100, children 15 and younger are free, and those aged 15 to 25 are $40. You must make a reservation at 718-974-6753. 718-974-6753. Come and enjoy great entertainment, wonderful food, great fellowship with family, friends, our brothers and sisters in Christ. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Let every mother feel special, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. Thank you.
Thank you, Natasha. And we're brought to you again by the Grace Family event on Sunday, and also by the Parent Guardian Forum. So we're just very excited for that, and thank you, Natasha, for that and pointing it out to us. And I know our Assemblywoman who has 4 children.
Yes, happy Mother's Day.
Thank you,
Right?
thank you.
Happy Mother's Day.
But I'm not going to change the subject. I'm thanking Natasha for joining us today. Right.
Okay. And I do have to run to another event, but thanks so much for having me. Do we have any last questions?
They're not listening to me, They're not listening to me.
Financial literacy.
What happened?
Financial literacy. Tell us about what you're having in your office and when you're having it, please, quickly, or where people can actually reach out to you and learn more about all the wonderful things that you actually host next year.
And where your offices?
Yeah, we recently did like a youth small business entrepreneur workshop led by the youth ambassadors and our small businesses. So we had small business services, different agencies come out to make sure they work with people with business plans and how to get grant and how to do financial literacy and things of that nature. So in our office, we don't do like direct services, but we do definitely partner with agencies and organizations to make sure that we get those services. So definitely you can contact our office, 718-385-3336. So this way you could find out what agencies and what organizations out there doing this great and wonderful work, because it's very important. But our youth just had one last month, a whole financial literacy. Yes, it was a great event. Young entrepreneurs from young always to all ages, they were able to get support that they need and find out financial resources as well.
So before you go, there's one thing that you and I have discussed, and I want to ask you about that. There was a shooting recently, I think March, on Snyder Avenue over there in Church.
March 11th.
And you want to address, let's call things for what they are, mass shooting. Where are we? Yep. Are we anywhere on recognizing that when multiple people are shot, that we have to address mass shootings so those resources can come to our community. And, part of that is mental health, but
Yep.
you're also talking about resources as well. What kind of traction do you have on that? And then I think that's our last comment because I know you have to run to an event.
Yes. So that definitely was in the middle of the budget. So you know how that goes. There's a lot of distractions during that time, but we did introduce legislation. We got a bill number. If you look it up on my website, you will see mass shooting we define with our public safety task force as 4 or more. It's called a mass shooting. In a more affluent neighborhood, 4 or more get shot, or even any 2. They call it a mass shooting. They get resources. But our Black and brown community, they were calling it multiple, triple, quadruple. And mass shooting, when it's termed as that, designated as that, federal resources are activated to come to the community, wraparound service, mental health services, different trauma informed services that comes to the community. So we're advocating for that. So, and when you do legislation, there's a lot of advocacy that goes around. There's a lot of we have over 30 co-sponsors on that bill as well. And we're going to continue work with the advocate. Now that we passed the bill, we can get back to, we passed the budget. Now we get back to working with getting the electeds to focus on it. We need our mayor, our governor, our congresswoman signed on and said this is called a mass shooting, and several of our surrounding colleagues. So unfortunately, 39-year-old Emmanuel Soray, he was murdered in that. And this has been happening way too often in our community. So we definitely need to make sure we get the resources to prevent things like this from happening.
Absolutely.
I absolutely agree with you. And where's your office, Assemblywoman?
It is 903 Utica Avenue between Church and Snyder, the same office that our lovely former Assembly member, now U.S. Ambassador to Jamaica, Nick Perry, held. So it's the same office that's been there for years and years and years, 903 Utica Avenue, Church and Snyder Avenue. Anybody know Snyder, the Chinese chicken wings right there on Utica?
And the Korean store is across the street, by the way. Your office number is 718-385-3336.
Yes.
Just ask for somebody in the office to address any issues on mental issue. This Assemblywoman, she got we were very excited last week or a couple of weeks ago. We went out in the neighborhood. We had a conversation. She's not just talking about being elected. She's actually walking the walk. She literally is out there doing the thing, doing the community. And a lot of people were shocked to see you because they're like, oh, but you're not running for. No, we're not running for office. We're just simply addressing things that concerns the community. So thank you so much, Assemblymember Monique.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Pleasant good evening, everyone. Take care. Mental health is real, right? I don't think any of us are not is looking at mental health as something that's not something that we want to talk about. We just have to. I think what everybody's right. There's a side of if a person with mental health issue attacks me, they have a lot more freedom than I do on the flip side.
Right.
What do I do if I know they're out of control? They have a weapon. They're attacking me. Do I say, oh, you have a mental health issue? Do I not attack?
Right.
Or do I say flight, fight, or freeze? Right? What am I saying in any of those situations? So, they're real, right? They're real. It's not a mass murder. I gotta hide. I gotta do something. What can I do to help us? We ended up before December when we were talking about Ron DeSantis and the Chinese thing. The other big thing in the news is that John's former president, number 45, and Dr. Sampson's favorite president ever in history, number 45, was convicted, or no, is it convicted or found guilty?
This is exactly what we talk about. The fake information that you.
Is it what is? I just wait. I didn't ask you all of that. I want to know what the right term is.
The people
he was found liable. There you go. Thank you. I'm not misrepresenting. I asked you.
Convicted. You say convicted.
I say convicted, something else, and then say what is the right word. Yeah, you're right. And I'll be a Democrat. Right. I'm gonna form my own third. My party would be called Moderate Democrat. But anyway, he was found guilty of.
There you go again.
He was found liable.
Found guilty. You see this? Village? This is exactly what I talk about. The misinformation that is given out.
These Democrats, right? So he was found liable. Let me correct myself. Of inappropriate conduct and fine that fine, but it has to pay $5 million to E. Jean Carroll, a 79-year-old former magazine writer. So awarded $5 million in damages. More than a dozen women have accused, more than a dozen women, that's a lot, of sexual misconduct over the years, but this is the only allegation to be affirmed by a jury. In the civil case, the Federal Bureau, 6 men and 3 women found that Miss Carroll, 79, a former magazine, had sufficiently proved that Mr. Trump sexually abused her nearly 30 years ago in a dressing room of the Berghoff. You know what's funny? Before you say anything, John? So I was watching one of the deposition, right? And they picked out a picture of the woman, and he thought it was his wife. Although he said
he never
this
met her.
woman is not his type, but he thought the woman was his wife.
And they have pictures of him and the lady together. Come on, the man's a liar, just like
Well,
John Santos.
John, you were saying something.
You know, once again, we talk about, we are so consumed with 45 that we are not paying attention to issues that really impact us on a day-to-day basis.
But that doesn't impact us.
Such as the mental health issue, such as congestion pricing.
Yes. My God.
So we up here talking about
the migrants.
And the migrants. We up here talking about Trump and this woman. And I agree, he is liable for it. But then that's it. To me, let's move on. There's something else more significant than the escapades of former President Donald Trump.
But he is the front runner for, he might become,
talk to me
again, about the next president. He might become number 47.
Talk to me.
Right?
About.
I'm like James, what's his name? James Cleveland, Cleveland, Grover Cleveland.
Talk to me about it after the Republican primary.
Now, I think it's important. Well, we don't want to run DeSantis either. So, Nikki Haley might be a great candidate right now. But you're right. You're right. I think it's an important conversation, but I think sometimes we mask these conversations and then we forget others, that the border issue in Texas about the new changes.
That's a big issue.
That's right. The fact that, we're going to have somebody on immigration next week, I think, on what to be done on immigration and continue the conversation around mental health. Now, we saw it from the legal perspective. Now we want to talk about.
Well, we've got 2 minutes left. I want to just take this time to wish all the mothers, Dr. Bryant. I want to wish you all.
Dr. Bryant is not a mother.
I want to wish your families and those mothers. I want to wish you all a happy Mother's Day and continue God's blessing. Thank you very much, Trimmy Trim.
All right. I also want to take the opportunity to recognize.
Also, I wanted to congratulate my nephew who graduated from college.
Congrats.
Congratulate my daughter who's going to be graduating from law school in 2 weeks.
All right.
So I would like to first of all say happy belated birthday to my sister-in-law, Nikki. So I know she had a great time, and Andre's mom. Just want to say that. So happy birthday to her. And like John said, listen, first of all, let me say happy Mother's Day to both most important women in my life, my wife and my mother.
That's up.
Make sure I tell them both happy Mother's Day. And then we move down the list of all the family members. Dr. Brian, happy Mother's Day to you. And all of our listeners out there, Sophia, happy Mother's Day.
Sophia, Dr. Brian, your mother.
And make sure you say happy birthday to your mama for me, Dr. Brian. All right. So just making sure that all the mothers out there, the mother of John's children, happy Mother's Day. And everyone else, just make sure that all of you know that mothers, you are truly appreciated. I don't believe, that, people need to lessen the effect of a mother. A mother plays a very vital role in a family, and we need to appreciate you for who you are, for bringing us up. As difficult-
Mothers!
right? As difficult
And
as
come
I
on
am,
out Saturday. Come
Right.
on out. We want to celebrate the moms that's there as well on Saturday.
Come on out, support Dr. Brian
and what's the location again, Dr. Brian, for the Parent Guardian Forum?
118 Rochester Avenue, Berryman Life and Community Center will be there from 12:30 to 12 to 3. 12 to 3.
Awesome.
Bring moms, come on out. We have a special treat for you when you come out, and bring your children with you. We celebrate all families.
And Sunday, just come out to 650 Remsen
Wrap it
Avenue
up.
and celebrate mothers. Because sometimes you go out, they give you these special menus. Now you get an opportunity to go out. It's going to cost you the same thing to go out and.
Man, don't even talk to me about it. You go out Mother's Day, you can't get a seat, but Father's Day, you get a lot of seats.
Yeah,
that's another show.
Right.
All right, villagers, thank you for joining us.
On the village, thanks for watching, viewing, sharing, participating in the Village Radio Talk Show. Right here on 92.1 FM, on Facebook at Roderick F. Daly, John L. Sampson, Dr. Joanne Bryan, Andre Dolman, Sophia Willisey, and on YouTube at the Village Radio Talk Show. Please do press subscribe and like us on YouTube. We appreciate all of you. God bless each and every one of you. Please enjoy your Mother's Day weekend.
All those pain, suffering, no one knows the pressure you bear, just only you. It's my words and my tongue. Mama, I will never let you down. I'll never go away. I'll always be around. You know why you do it, such love that you found. I'm always gonna let you wear that crown.
Mama!
Through for some nights, you maintain your calm towards your only end, while sheltering me from the storm. And when it's cold, you rock me the towel so.
And